This is a video for the Review and Reflect for dot product. You may want to pause the video now and try your hand at solving the review problems as well as writing down the reflect. For the review, we are given both vector u and vector v. For the first thing we need to do is to add our two vectors. So remember, we're going to add components. So we're going to add the 3 and the -1, and that's how we're going to get a +2. And then we're going to add the -5 and the -2, and that's how we're going to get a -7. That's our first answer. Our second answer is going to be to get 2 times u. Remember, when we do that, 2 times u is going to give me 6 and -10. Then we're going to subtract the v vector, which is -1, -2. Again, I like to distribute my negatives, so this will become a positive, and distribute my negatives, and these will become positives as well. So now I'm just adding these two, so I'm going to get 7, -8 as my answer. Last but not least, our job is to actually find the magnitude of vector u plus v. Well, since we already have that, we are just being asked to find the magnitude of 2, -7. When we do that, remember, we're going to square the first one, and we're going to square the second one, and our magnitude will be the square root of that summation. So for this one, we're going to get the square root of 53. On a separate problem altogether, our job says to rewrite vector u plus v in the following formats. So we already have the first one, which is 2, -7. Then it says to do in I direction and j direction. So this is going to be 2 in the I direction and -7 in the j direction. To do the cis, remember what we're doing. We're going to have +2 and -7 right here. So this is what our vector is. So what we need to find is our magnitude of our vector, and we need to find the angle that goes with it. So if that's the case, what we need to do is find the magnitude of our vector, which we already know that because we found it over here. So that's going to be the square root of 53 as our magnitude. Now we got to go find our angle. So remember, our angle is going to be the inverse tangent of the y component over the x component. Since this is not something we readily know, I'm going to go on ahead and put it in here as the inverse tangent of -7/2. So that's our theta. And then the last but not least, our job is to write it in terms of a complex number. So remember, when we have our magnitude and we multiply it times our cosine, it's going to give us this horizontal part. So that's going to be 2 on the real. And then we do the same thing for the sine, and we're going to have -7 on the imaginary part. And that concludes this video.